Welcome back, everybody, to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise here on Madden 21. That's right, 2 Jags episodes within the span of 3 days. I know, pretty crazy. As today we are set to take on the 2-7 Denver Broncos, and I know on paper this looks like an easy win, but the Broncos are a professional football team. We cannot take them for granted at all. Last week we had a nice 35-21 victory over the Colts, who are led by, of course, rookie quarterback Rodney Allen, who we got to see in action last week. The Broncos have a number of talented players, most notably star pass rusher Von Miller, who is still one of the best in the business. And, the Broncos have a really solid front seven. They have a number of guys who can get after the quarterback. Obviously, Von Miller, along with Bradley Chubb, Jarrell Casey. There are some good players in the front of this Denver defense. So, it's going to be a challenging game in this one. Also, this is the first episode I'm recording since the new Madden title update, and we actually have franchise updates. I know, wild. So, there are some big ones. We can now change Superstar and Superstar X Factor abilities. We're going to look at DJ Chark here, for example, because he's our only X Factor player on the roster. And I don't think I'm going to change his abilities because I like them the way they are, but if you guys think there are better ones for him, let me know in the comments, because I am not a superstar ability expert by any stretch. So if you think any of these abilities are really good, then let me know in the comments and we might have to try them out. Another one of the updates is that it lists the team they played for in set season, which is obviously a very big deal. I don't know why this was not in the game earlier, but hey, it is now, and I'm not really complaining. Let's look at players who have switched teams, because that'll be more funner than just seeing DJ Chark, who's only played with Jacksonville his whole career. Let's look at Phillip Lindsay real quick. 3 years of Denver, and then this year of Jacksonville. So we do get an accurate representation of which players played on which teams. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily show trades. Let's take a look at Taven Bryan, who we traded away to Buffalo during this season. He's played for both us and the Bills this year, and for the listed team, it only says Buffalo for 2021. So unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily show if a player has been traded, but still a very welcomed update to franchise, and thank goodness we can really tell, especially later down the line in this series. The other major update was that it shows the playoff picture. Once we get to week 13, we will get a visual bracket, which is pretty exciting. So we are in week 11 right now, so we don't get to see that right this second, but we will get to in a couple of episodes. So unlike last year, this division is actually fairly competitive at the top. The Texans are in first place. They are a game ahead of us at 6-3, and they've won 5 in a row. Currently, if the season ended today, we would be the 6th seed in the AFC, and we would be playing the New England Patriots in Foxborough in round 1. So if it ended today, our wildcard matchup would be against Cam Newton and the defending champion Patriots, which would certainly be a challenge. The AFC this year is very competitive. There are a lot of teams fighting for wild card spots, so we're probably going to have to go at least 9-7, I would say, to guarantee a playoff spot. And then in the NFC as well, I think the crazy thing here is the top 3 listed teams are all in the NFC East. The Cowboys, the football team, and the Eagles, and the Giants aren't too far behind at 5-4. I'm pretty sure all 4 NFC East teams would be in the playoffs if the season ended today, which is obviously ironic. If you've been following the NFL in real life this year, you know that division, well, it sucks. It sucks a lot. So obviously, we are playing the Denver Broncos today in Denver. We are facing the altitude. They're used to it. We are not, so it's going to be a challenge. They're led by third-year quarterback Drew Lock. Lock has actually not had a bad year. I'll show the stats in a second, but he's not the reason why this team only has 2 wins. Now, they are going to get a high draft pick most likely, and they could look at a quarterback. Marcus Trotter out of Ole Miss and Stephen Westwood out of Westlake are 2 players who we looked at earlier in the season in the prospect profile video. So they could certainly go that route, but Lock has not been all that bad this year. He has his highest passer rating at 98.1 so far in the 9 games he's played. 2,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 picks. His second highest completion percentage, most yards per game, most yards per attempt. He's been good this year. He really has been. And I guess it's just the team around him has failed him. He certainly, statistically, is having a really solid campaign. Defensively, as we talked about earlier, these guys are led by Von Miller, who is really, really good at football. He has a Super Bowl MVP under his belt. I think he is a no-doubt Hall of Famer if he were to retire right now. In the game and real life, I don't think it's much of a question. Von Miller is one of the top defensive players in this generation, and he is still doing well here in this series at a 93 overall. Last year, he had like 19 sacks, I think. So, I mean, he is still producing at a ridiculous rate. This year in 9 games, he has 7.5 sacks and an interception. For what it's worth, I don't know why he's dropping into coverage, but he's on pace to get another like 13 sacks this year. So, I mean, in the past decade, I don't know if there's a more consistent QB sacker than Von Miller. The rest of his team, I mean, there is some talent. Justin Simmons, Courtland Sutton, Bradley Chubb, all really good players. They signed Ryan Kerrigan in the offseason. Jerry Jeudy is developing very nicely. But these guys just haven't won games this year. I mean, 2-7 is not a great record. They've got to get back into the winning track, and we'll see if they can do that today. Welcome to Sports Authority Field, I think that's what it's called. Here in Denver, Colorado, as the 5-4 Jacksonville Jaguars, winners of 3 straight, are set to take on the Denver Broncos in what should be a fun one. Jacksonville will start on offense. Here is Gardner Minshew and company. We've not talked about Minshew yet today, but I mean, this is a prove-it game for him. Statistically, he's been fine this year, but if you watched the games, you know he's not been all that great this year, and I mean, we've considered benching him for a while, so we'll see how that goes. First play from scrimmage is a nice pass for David Njoku, and an additional 15 yards on the play. The former Jaguar, A.J. Bouye, called for an unnecessary roughness. Following play, Philip Lindsay loses 2. His first game against his old team, Bradley Chubb, brings him down. Both Lindsay and Chubb part of that 2018 draft class. I mean, Philip Lindsay did go undrafted, but I guess he is still part of that class. 3rd and 4 now. Nice pass by Minshew into the hands of Philip Lindsay, who gets it to the 19-yard line. Lindsay was lined as a receiver on that play. 2nd and 3 now. Minshew looking to throw it. It's a short pass for the tight end Daniel Romer, who loses 2. But Philip Lindsay is injured on the field. Lindsay has been very healthy throughout the season. I think he got hurt once in the Dolphin game and missed like 2 plays. Grabbing his wrist, going into the locker room. The diagnosis is that he has bruised his sternum, and he is out for the rest of this game. 3rd and 5, Minshew trying to get it to the rookie Zeke Bowman. That would lead to a field goal try here for Jacksonville. It'll be a chip shot, 31 yards for Lambeau, and it is good. So the Jags are now up 3-0, but they're going to be without their top running back for the rest of this game. It'll be veteran Boston Scott and rookie Kyra Brooks taking all of the carries for the rest of this one. Here is the Bronco offense now. The second-year man out of Alabama, Jerry Jeudy, to the 43-yard line. Good pass from Locke. Denver's offense looking fairly solid so far. Now from the opposing 30. First down, Locke going to look to throw it, and he gets it to the recently extended Courtland Sutton, who is brought down at the 9. Denver now getting very close to the end zone. Drew Lock currently 4 for 4 for 58 yards so far. He has been very impressive. As a Lock on 1st and goal, going to look for the speedy Philip Dorsett, who will dive into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Denver Broncos will score the first touchdown of the game. They will now make it 7-3 with 4:23 to go in the first. Jags now with it. Here's Boston Scott. Get used to this name today, as Scott will get a nice gain there for the first down. Maybe it won't be too bad without Philip Lindsay. 3rd and 3 now, another handoff for Scott, and he does not get it. Wrapped up by Josie. Don't jewel, kids, because it's not cool. Josie Jewell with the play. 4th and 1 from the 44, and Jacksonville's going to risk it for the biscuit. The rookie out of Arkansas, Kyra Brooks, gets 5. That is more than enough for a first down, and the Jaguar offense will remain on the field. 3rd and 6 now from the 48. Minshew over to Daniel Romer, who drops the pass. Both Daniel Romer and David Njoku have dropped a number of passes this year, as the tight end play for the Jaguars has been very inconsistent. Denver offense now with it. Back to Philip Dorsett. He gets it to the 38. Drew Lock currently 6 for 6, 85 yards and a touchdown. This Jaguar pass defense is not all that good, but so far today they've been exceptionally bad. Here's Courtland Sutton now to the 46. Quick tackle by the rookie out of Auburn, Zaire Wiggins, but still a first down for the Broncos. nearing the end of the first quarter. Denver looking good right now as Drew Lock has time and will connect with the speedy KJ Hamler, who gets it to the 19. Drew Lock still a perfect 8 of 8, and he is just wheeling and dealing right now. First quarter in the books, Broncos looking good. They lead at 7-3, and they had the ball in the red zone as they try to extend their lead here early in this second quarter. 3rd and 9 from the 18. Lock, the third-year pro out of Mizzou. Short throw for Melvin Gordon, who is going to be wrapped out of bounds by Crevan LeBlanc, getting around 3 or 4 yards on the play. So 4th and 6, it'll be the field goal unit. Brandon McManus, the former Temple Owl, from 32 yards. His kick is good. And the Broncos will keep it a one-score game, but they extend their lead as it is now 10-3. Jags offense has it back. The offense hasn't been bad today, but I wouldn't say they've been good either. 3rd and 4, a nice play by DJ Chark. Tracking the football, Gardner Minshew is a very nice 6 for 9 at the moment. Nice. Now from the 41, Minshew, a short throw for Nelson Aguilar, who will get around 17 yards, bringing it to the 42-yard line for a Jacksonville first down. 3rd and 2 now. It's a handoff up the middle for Kyra Brooks, and it does not look like he got it, but they're going to give it to him. Von Miller with a quick play, but the 5th-round rookie will connect. Now from the 32. Minshew going to loft it up. What a catch by David Njoku. He dropped 3 routine passes last week and makes a ridiculous catch there. So, I mean, it's good to see him making the contested play, but got to also catch the wide open ones. 2nd and goal now from the 6 for rookie Kyra Brooks with the touchdown, his 3rd of the season. Andrew Billings, defensive tackle for the Broncos, is injured on the play as we are tied up at 10. Denver with it now, a short throw here from Locke over to his favorite target, Cortland Sutton, who's had a very busy first half. Nobody can stop Locke right now. He has been dominant in this football game. They hand off for Royce Freeman. Locke's pass is picked off. The 7th overall draft pick out of Auburn, Zaire Wiggins, with the pick. His 2nd interception of his career, 2nd interception in the last 3 weeks, and Wiggins is doing a handstand. He is awfully excited as the rookie with a huge turnover. Offense trying to capitalize, and that certainly does not look promising. Minshew is sacked on first down by another recently extended player, Bradley Chubb, for a loss of 10. 3rd and 13 now. Minshew, tight throw. Wasn't really clear whether he was trying to get it to Chark or Aguilar, but Nelson Aguilar is there for the catch and the first down. Now at the 31. Jags still have all 3 timeouts, by the way, as Minshew is going to be strip-sacked by Ryan Kerrigan. The Jaguars will recover it and call timeout after the sack. 3rd and 19 from the 40. Not quite in field goal range as Minshew hit by Von Miller. He is incomplete. So do you go for the punt or do you go for the field goal? And Jacksonville's going to go for the field goal. A 57-yarder from Josh Lambo, and he barely makes it. What a kick by Josh Lambo. He had the wind at his back. The altitude probably helped him make that. But nonetheless, one of the longest kicks of his career, a 57-yarder, and it is now 13-10. Broncos with it. Nice pass to Royce Freeman. Bad play by Miles Jack. We have not gotten to say that often these past couple of weeks, as Miles Jack has been a maniac for this defense. Now from the 42, nice throw for the tight end, Noah Fant, who runs out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Broncos will go for the field goal shortly after. Jacksonville going to call a timeout here, try to ice Brandon McManus, who's been one of the better kickers in the NFL for a number of years now. This is an easy one from 34, and he barely makes it. McManus, known more as a distance kicker, kind of like former Bronco Matt Prater, who has the record for the longest field goal in an NFL game. Jags trying to do something here with 1 more second left. Nice catch by Chark for 12, but it doesn't really result in anything. That'll do it for your first half of action. This game is knotted up at 13. We've got ourselves a really good football game at the moment, and this second half should be a fun one. High-level quarterback play from both sides. Drew Lock has been incredible for the Denver Broncos outside of the interception. And Gardner Minshew has actually had one of his better games so far this year. Minshew looks good. He has not missed a ton of throws. He's been accurate. He has not made any wild decisions. And he's played well so far today. You got to give him credit. Here is the Bronco offense. They're starting with the football here in the second half. As nice play there by Jerry Jeudy. Miles Jack is injured on the play. This could be bad news. Miles Jack has been one of the lone bright spots on this defense this season. Jack has already missed a number of games this season ever since he returned from his injury back in Week 7. He has been an animal. Luckily, Jack would return to the game shortly after. It looks like he is in the game right now. 3rd and 2. Royce Freeman is stuffed by Josh Allen and Joe Schobert. 4th and 1. Denver's going to just kick the field goal here. Going to go for the conservative call as it's a 44-yarder for McManus. His kick is right down Main Street. McManus is now 3 for 3. It's been a busy day so far for these field goal kickers. And the Broncos are now up 16-13. Jags with it, 3rd and 2. Nice run for the rookie Kyra Brooks, who's going to get it to the 42. Brooks has had a lot of bad runs this season, but he's had some good ones today. Speaking of the bad runs, well, here's one of them. Brooks loses 4 on the outside carry. It's the former Jaguar A.J. Bouye who brings him down. 3rd and 12 now from the 44. Minshew gonna look to throw it, trying to get it to DJ Chark. The pass is incomplete. Jags could try a 61-yarder, but they will play it safe and elect to punt it as the Broncos will get it back. Up by 3 with the football, 2nd and 6. Lock a deep ball for Dorsett, and he will lose the football. Ronnie Harrison lays the boom. He picks up the fumble he forced, and the Jaguars will get it back. That looked like atrocious coverage. Dorsett was wide open in the middle of the field, breaks Gerard Wilson's ankles, and gets laid out by Ronnie Harrison. That ball was clearly out. Ronnie Harrison has also played really well these past couple of weeks. Jags offense back with it. Nice run by Kyra Brooks to the 34-yard line as Brooks has still been inconsistent today, but he has had some really nice runs. 2nd and 3, a tight throw for DJ Chark as the Jaguars are really getting closer and closer to this end zone. 3rd quarter in the books, and it is still anybody's game. 13-16, Denver leads. The Jaguars do have it in the red zone. However, it is 3rd and 7. Gardner Minshew looking to throw it, trying to get it to Chark, and it is batted down. Bouye was there with the coverage. Josie Jewell and Alexander Johnson as well in the area. So the Jaguars are just going to go for the field goal. Lambeau makes it. Both kickers are 3 for 3 on field goals today. This is a battle of the kickers. And we are now knotted up at 16 here early in the 4th. Lock now, a tight throw for Philip Dorsett, who's had a very busy day. Dorsett has scored a touchdown, and he had the fumble on the previous drive, getting it to the 49. Following play, fake handoff for Melvin Gordon, as it's going to be a curl route for Sutton, who will be brought down at the 36-yard line. Now here at the 27, the Broncos are marching forward as they try to get this lead. Locke, his pass is somehow caught by Dorsett. He was under a ton of pressure, just floated it up, hoping he'd get lucky. And, well, that's exactly what happens as Dorsett brings it to the 3. 1st and goal now. Denver going to try to punch it in as Melvin Gordon gets the handoff, and he loses 3. Ronnie Harrison brings him down. Harrison is certainly playing like he wants an extension these past few weeks. 3rd and goal now from the 6-yard line. Locke, it will be a short throw for Albert Okwuegbunam. I know I said that wrong. I've never figured out how to say it right. But Albert O with his first career touchdown reception. Noah Fant got hurt early in the second half, and Albert O has certainly stepped up in this game. Jaguar offense now with it, 3rd and 10. Bad pass by Minshew. It is incomplete. So 4th down here, the Jaguars would elect to punt it. Interesting call. However, it would be a damn good one. Down at the 1. What a punt by Logan Cook. And now the Jaguars are in a prime territory to get a safety. Well, that would clearly be a pipe dream as Melvin Gordon would proceed to get 25 yards on the first play of the drive. So safety is knocked out of the equation. And now Denver's going to try to chew some clock here and make this a 2-score game. From the 49-yard line here, past enemy territory, Melvin Gordon with the handoff. He gets a 1st down as the Broncos are very close to field goal range as they try to make it a 2-score game. 3.5 to go now. It is 2nd and 8 at the 35. Locke looking to throw it under a little bit of pressure. Probably the first time I've said that today about the Jaguars pass rush, as he gets it to Albert O, who gains 19 yards, bringing it to the 16. Denver is definitely in safety or in field goal range now, So, really not looking good at this moment for Jacksonville. From the 16, Gordon with the handoff. He loses a yard. Miles Jack with the play. And Melvin Gordon is hurt. Obviously, this is significant because the Broncos are losing their running back, but the clock stops, which is good news for Jacksonville. 3rd and 3 now from the 9. Short throw for Royce Freeman, and he runs out of bounds. Again, stopping the clock, which is a big deal. Jacksonville still has 2 timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning, so they're not mathematically out of this game yet. McManus does make the field goal. He is now 4 for 4. Denver leads it by 10 with 2:22 to go. Let's see what Minshew Mania can do here as the Jaguars try to drive down the field here and hope for a miracle. Good pass for Aguilar, bringing it to the 42. Dwayne Brown is hurt. That's not good news. On the bright side, the clock does stop, but, I mean, that's your starting right tackle. That's not what you want to see. Here is a tough throw. What a catch by DJ Chark, bringing it to the 39-yard line. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Broncos are up by 10 as they try to hold on here. Jacksonville will not stop fighting, however. First down, Minshew back to Chark on a short pass. He runs out of bounds at the 27. The Jags are in field goal range for what it's worth. They are down by 10, so a field goal is acceptable on this drive. 3rd down now, a deep ball for Njoku. What a catch! Why does he drop the easy ones but makes ridiculous grabs like this? Nice gain of 22 for Njoku. 3rd and goal now at the 4. Jaguars kind of have to pass it in as Njoku will drop this one. It was deflected by one of the defensive backs. 4th and goal, they could kick a field goal here, but the Jags aren't going to go for it. They're thinking that they're already this close, so they might as well. However, Minshew is sacked, and to make matters even worse, A.J. Khan, the starting right guard, who's been excellent the past season and a half, is hurt. That'll end this one. The Broncos with an upset victory, 26-16. The 3-game win streak is now over for Jacksonville, as your Jaguars will fall to 5-5. Definitely not the result we wanted, but, I mean, Denver really played well today. The defense was bad. I know 26 points doesn't look like that much, but the defense was not good, and the offense did do a pretty good job of moving the ball down the field. Drew Lock was exceptional, 83% completion percentage, 437 yards. He did not get sacked once, by the way. Gardner Minshew statistically did not have a great game, but I think he actually played fairly well. One of his better games of the season, did not miss too many throws. He was smart in the pocket, and he was not that bad today. Despite no Phillip Lindsay, the rushing offense for Jacksonville was fine. Kyra Brooks had a pretty good game. Boston Scott didn't get as many touches, but he was fine in limited carries. He also had a few receptions today, so could have been a lot worse there. Jacksonville cannot cover the tight end worth a damn. Albert O, the backup tight end, had 6 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown, and that was all in the second half, replacing Noah Fant. So that just goes to show you that, I mean, just based on what we've seen throughout the season, Tyler Higbee had a big game against this defense. Dallas Goedert dominated. Jack Doyle had a really good game last week. This team cannot cover tight ends at all. Blocking, our rookie left tackle, Bentley Vander Walson, allows 2 sacks. He did not allow a single sack this season before today, so it's kind of unfortunate that he's allowed multiple. Denver had 3 sacks. We had none. Our pass defense has been really bad this year, but our pass rush has actually been quite good. So when there's no pass rush and our pass coverage sucks, you can imagine that, well, it was a disaster. Zaire Wiggins did get an interception. We forced 2 turnovers today, and they did not force any. Obviously, we had the Rodney Harrison fumble as well. So, I mean, the defense forced turnovers, but the pass defense was really bad. We can't cover tight ends, and we couldn't even send pressure today. So that will end the episode. Next time, we got the Houston Texans, who are now 7-3. 3 of our next 5 games are divisional. 2 of our next 5 are against the Houston Texans. So it's going to be very important. This one is on the road. By the way, we have a breakout player for next week. I'm not going to reveal it yet. I don't know who it is. My guess is probably Kyra Brooks, maybe Zaire Wiggins, maybe Nelson Aguilar. I mean, it could be anybody but DJ Chark, considering he's the only guy with X Factor. So it could be a number of players here. I am really curious to see who it is. Dwayne Brown broke his thumb. Wasn't he grabbing it like his knee when we saw him get hurt late in the game? Well, he's going to miss 5 weeks, including both Texans games, which sucks considering he's a starter. And he spent most of his career in Houston, so it would have been fun to have him playing against his former team. Our only injury going into this week was wide receiver Lee Egerton. He is back. Egerton has not gotten a lot of wide receiver snaps, but I do want to play him more. And he also is a pretty important special teamer as well, so it is good to have him back. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Stay safe. Peace out.